Hey, there it goes. There it goes. I don't know if anyone is listening to me, but I am back on restreaming, and my intention is to go online a couple times a week with the also intention of getting my voice out there and to gain more followers and to um, earn more money, really. And I called this Monday show is going to be called it is called Permission to Be You. And then the subtitle is basically how to be humbly you, just to be you and just not try to be anybody else. And I should be, if everything goes well or is going well, I should be on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram right at this moment. How crazy is that? So, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Okay. Of course, my name is Joan Kling, and I am a keynote speaker. I'm a self leadership coach, which means I believe all leadership starts with self. And that the more we do internal research and introspection, the more we can find out who we are and then accept who we are and then live your life like that, being able to say yes and no to different things, like this works for me, this doesn't work for me, because you have done the investigation and the work to figure out what does work for you and what doesn't work for you. And my hope is that each time I'll have a quick lesson and that my really more than 15 minutes. And so today's quick lesson is, are you visual, auditory, or kinesthetic? And then when you learn visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, you can learn if other people are. So when I read some of the descriptions of what they might say, what they prefer, uh, each type, you won't be offended. Where you don't have to be offended. You can always be offended, but you don't have to be offended by how people are acting. You can just go, oh, that's because they need to look at it. I had a boss that was very visual, and so whenever I went into his office, for our weekly meetings, which I recommend that you have a weekly meeting with your boss, and I would have an agenda so he could look at it, and he was also kinesthetic. Most people are visual and kinesthetic, so that he can hold it, that he can look at it. That makes him feel better. That made him feel better, so that it was like a win-win. It's like from Jerry Maguire, help me help you. When I know that you're visual, I'm going to give you a map. Even though we have GPS, you might want to still have a map. Okay, so now it's been a while since I've been on here, and I don't think we could share screens when I was doing LinkedIn Lives before. Oh, this is not the one I want. Okay, so let me see. Stop sharing. Now let me find where you are here. And I see I have 2 people on Facebook watching me. Well, hello. And if you want to jump in the chat, I will see it somewhere. Anyway, let me go back, and one person has left. It's okay. My feelings are not going to be hurt. Share screen. Learning styles. Window. I don't think it's going to work out. I don't think it's going to work out me sharing the screen. But if you contact me, I will give you a handout on visual auditory kinesthetic. So some people call it VAK. Some people call it learning styles. It's the way you learn. This is great for your children. This is great for your spouses, your partners. It's like, oh, he needs to look at it. She needs to touch it. It's different. Every person learns differently. So we're going to start with the visual person. So the visual person prefers pictures, diagrams, flip charts. They love to go to a museum. They might say stuff like this, well, show me. So instead of me being offended when I'm explaining something to somebody and they're saying, well, show me, and I'm thinking, I just told you, why do I need to show it to you? They might say, let's have a look. Watch how I do it. And they might say, it's great to see you. Okay. Probably the auditory is not going to say that. They're going to enjoy maps, to-do lists. They love to-do lists because they can see it. The auditory might be able to remember what their tasks are for today, but the visual wants written instructions. They love singing to music. They love reading the lyrics. And they can remember faces and what the person was wearing. Whereas I'm better with faces than with names, but I don't know if I could remember what you were wearing. But I had an employee when I worked at the city of Encinitas, and I would say, did we go to that house before? And she would go, remember had the blue trim and the white fence and they had that big black dog? She was very visual. She could remember every little detail. So not each one is not exclusive. Sometimes people will have more than one. Like for me, I say that I'm visual and kinesthetic. If when I had a real job and I went to the office and the IT person came to help me with my computer, it's much better if I sat down and you told me what to do than you telling me what to do. Like that I got to do it. So let's move on to I'm trying to move my handout that I couldn't get up here for you. Okay, so the auditory, the person who wants to listen more. They love to listen to hear people speak. They love to listen to podcasts, noises, music, conversations. They might say, tell me, let's talk it over. It's great to hear your voice. This is something that someone who has a learning style of listening may say. They're going to be able to follow spoken instructions and directions. So if I stop and I ask somebody for directions, I can't follow it. I can't really follow it past the first turn right. But the auditory can. They can remember. They can remember turn right, turn left, that Jack in the Box. And they're going to say, listen to me explain this. So I don't have to think, my gosh, this person is constantly needs my attention. Listen. That's just because they hear. That's how they learn. They love talking to friends and strangers. They love talking through a problem. So they might not actually want your input or your suggestions, but they do like to talk it out. They'd like to talk out a problem with someone. Now they can remember names, what people say, and words to songs. Okay, and then the last type is the kinesthetic. Kinesthetics, they like physical activity. They like to try things again and again. They like making things, right? Because they're touching things. They're going to say, "Let me give it a try." If you're a visual or an auditory person and you're like and you're saying, "Watch how I do it." If the visual person is going to say, "Watch how I do it," the auditory person is going to say, "Let's talk it over." And the kinesthetic, which a lot of people are kinesthetic, they're going to say, "Let me try it. I seriously can't figure it out unless you let me touch it." Conversely, I'm going to say to you, "Have a go. Go ahead and try it." But the visual and the auditory might need more information. They're going to, they enjoy trying things that they haven't tried before. Moving to the music, sharing an activity with somebody, they like the interaction. And they can remember things they have done, how people made them feel, and how people are moving or standing. So they may say, it was the guy over by the door that was leaning against the bookcase. So everybody has a main style, but we mostly always have more than one. The least one, the least popular one or preference is auditory. So I like to say, especially since I worked for the government most of my life, that so people come in to the government and we explain things to them orally, but most people need to either see it or touch it to completely understand. So no wonder there's so much miscommunication going on. So that's my quick lesson for today. It is it's called Learning Styles, Visual, Auditory, Kinesthetic. In my whole series of Permission to Be You is about just learning who you are and accepting it. The person that's visual is no better or less than the person who's auditory or the person who's kinesthetic. And but then I can learn to explain myself in different ways or ask for what I need because I'm one of those types. So I have said to bosses in the past, "Are you visual? How would you like that?" When one of my directors would give me an assignment, I would say, "How do you want that to look? Do you want a 3-page report, a 10-page report? Do you want one page with bullets? How do you want it?" And then he would tell me how it's best for him to understand the information I'm giving him. So then I would get my information in a way that he could comprehend it easily. So then it's a win-win. I'm not having to do it over again. He's getting what he wants. Everyone's happy. Okay, so feel free to jump on the chat if you want to, and feel free to reach out if you would like to have a handout on visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Okay, let me just see. I just have one person on Facebook listening. Okay, what a great time to be alive. I hope to do these earlier on Mondays, but today I did get up early to get started on this, and then there is so much back work to get done before you can go live on. And I use Restream. Other people use StreamYard, but that's it. Reach out to me on any of the platforms, and I will get back to you. Have a great day. Have a grateful day. Be kind to each other. Talk to you later. Bye.